Chapter 5 Major Domains of the Earth. Let's learn lithosphere, continents, hydrosphere, atmosphere, layers and composition, uses of atmosphere, biosphere, oceans. Earth is the only known planet which supports life.
You can find living organisms from the poles to the equator, from the bottom of the sea to several miles in the air, from freezing waters to dry valleys, from undersea thermal vents to underground thousands of feet below the Earth's surface.
There are three components, that is, land, water and air, which support life for human being on the Earth. The Earth's surface is very complex and made up of lithosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere and atmosphere. Info Hive. A cape is a part of land extending into a water body. Brain tickler. In which continent there is no permanent settlement? Lithosphere. The word lithosphere is derived from the Greek word that is lithos, meaning rock. The rigid part of the earth is called the lithosphere.
Lithosphere comprises the rocks of the Earth's crust and the thin layer of soil that contains nutrients which sustain organisms.
It covers the entire surface of the earth from the top of Mount Everest to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The surface of the earth is mainly divided into continents and ocean basins. Continents. Continents are the large land masses. About 29% of the earth is covered by land. The entire world comprises 7 major continents. In decreasing order of size, these are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe and Australia. Asia. Asia is the world's largest continent, both in area and in population. The continent extends from 10 degrees south to 77 degree north latitudes and from 25 degree east to 170 degree west longitudes. It is the only continent joined to 2 others. It covers 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. It lies mostly in the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the Asian continent. In the west, Europe is separated from Asia by Ural Mountains. The combined landmass of Asia and Europe is called Eurasia. Europe. Europe is the 6th largest continent in terms of surface area. It extends from 36 degree north to 72 degree north latitudes and from 10 degree west to 60 degree east longitudes. Europe is much smaller than Asia. This continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it.
It is bound by water bodies on 3 sides.
It is a continent of high mountains and vast plains. Info Hive. The highest mountain peak in Europe is Mount Elbrus, Russia. Africa. Africa is the 2nd largest continent after Asia. It lies between 37 degree north and 35 degree south latitudes and between 18 degree west and 51 degree east longitudes. The equator or 0 degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. A large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. It is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn pass. This continent is bound on all sides by oceans and seas. The world's longest river, the Nile, and world's largest hot desert, the Sahara, are found in Africa. North America. North America is the 3rd largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called the Isthmus of Panama. This continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. Three oceans surrounding this continent are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. Canada and USA together form Anglo-America.
The Caribbean islands are also called West Indies.
Greenland is also a part of this continent and is controlled by Denmark. There are 5 Great Lakes between Canada and USA. Info Hive. An isthmus is a narrow stretch of land which joins two large land masses. South America. South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. It is the 4th largest continent and is surrounded by 2 oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific. The Andes, world's longest mountain range, runs through its length from north to south. South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon. The lowlands occupy about half of South America. The 3 rivers, namely the Orinoco, the Amazon, and the La Plata, drain this region. The Orinoco River basin is called Llanos. The Amazon River basin is called Selvas, and the La Plata River basin is called the Gran Chaco.
Info Hive. Mount Aconcagua is the highest peak in the Andes Mountains.
Australia. Australia is the smallest continent and the 6th largest country in the world. It extends from 10 degrees south to 44 degrees south latitudes and from 112 degrees east to 154 degrees east longitudes, and lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is called an island continent because it is surrounded on all sides by the oceans and seas. New Zealand is also a part of Australian continent. It is separated from Australia by the Tasman Sea. Antarctica. Antarctica, completely in the southern hemisphere, is the 5th largest continent. It is larger than the combined area of Europe and Australia. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent. It is permanently covered with thick ice sheets and hence it is also called the White Continent. There are no permanent human settlements here. Many countries have established research stations in Antarctica. India also has research stations there. These are named as Maitri in 1988 and Dakshin Gangotri in 9 June 1982. Brain tickler. Where can we find glaciers in Africa? Info Hive. Australia along with New Zealand and other nearby islands is called Australasia. Hydrosphere. Water covers a very big area of the Earth's surface and this area is called the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises water in all its forms, that is, ice, water and water vapors. Surface water in oceans, rivers and in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water and the water vapor in atmosphere all comprise the hydrosphere. The Earth is called the blue planet because approximately 70% of Earth's total surface area is covered with water. But it is not suitable for use because it is too salty. Approximately 2% of the total water on Earth is fresh water that is fit for human use.
All oceans and seas are interconnected. According to their size, there are only 4 officially recognized oceans on the Earth, namely the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. The Southern Ocean or the Antarctic Ocean is not yet officially recognized.
Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. It is spread over 1/3 of the Earth. Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the Earth, lies under the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is circular in shape. It surrounds continents like Asia, Australia, North and South America. Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world. It is S-shaped. It is flanked by North and South America on the western side and Europe and Africa on the eastern side. The coastline of Atlantic Ocean is highly indented, which provides ideal location for natural harbors and ports. From commercial point of view, it is the busiest ocean. Brain tickler. What is the difference between an ocean and a sea? Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean is located within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. It is connected with the Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait. It is bounded by northern coast of North America and Eurasia. It has two basins, the Eurasian Basin and the North American Basin. The central part of the ocean is permanently covered with ice, which is about 3 meters thick throughout the year. Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is the only ocean named after a country, that is India. The shape of this ocean is almost triangular. In the north, it is bounded by Asia, in the west by Africa, and in the east by Australia. Atmosphere. The gaseous layers that surround the Earth constitute the atmosphere where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are present. The atmosphere extends up to a height of 1,600 km. It protects us from the harmful effects of sun's rays. Layers of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on composition, temperature, density, and other properties. These layers starting from Earth's surface are the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, the exosphere. Composition of the atmosphere.
The atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen, which make up about 99% of clean, dry and pure air.
Nitrogen, that is 78%, oxygen, that is 21%, and other gases like carbon dioxide, argon and other comprise 1% by volume. Oxygen is essential for the survival of living organisms. Nitrogen helps in the growth of living organisms. Carbon dioxide, though present in minute amount, is important as it absorbs heat radiated by the Earth and keeps the planet warm. It is also essential for the growth of plants. The density and the temperature of the atmosphere, that is air, are maximum at sea level. Air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Moving air is known as wind. Importance of atmosphere. It is the source of gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen which are essential for life on Earth. It does not allow the harmful ultraviolet radiation to reach the surface of the Earth. It prevents the extremes of temperatures during day and night. It also keeps us warm. It holds the surface heat on the Earth and prevents it from radiating out into space. We call this the greenhouse effect. It provides cool breezes on a hot day and rain to make the trees and flowers grow. It also protects us from objects coming towards the Earth from outer space. Closely related to temperature regulation, the atmosphere also contributes to change in weather. Wind, rain and snow depend on the atmosphere. Biosphere. The biosphere is the narrow zone of contact or combination of the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, and the atmosphere that makes life possible. The word biosphere has been derived from the Greek word bios, meaning life, and the Latin word sphere, meaning total range. All the living organisms, including humans, are linked to each other and to the biosphere for survival. The organisms in the biosphere may broadly be divided into the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. The three domains of the earth interact with each other and affect each other in some way or the other.
For example, cutting of forests for fulfilling our needs of wood or clearing land for agriculture may lead to fast removal of soil from slopes.
Similarly, water and air are also getting affected by the pollution caused by human activities. Natural calamities may also have an effect on land, air and water, which eventually affects the delicate balance of life on Earth. Info Hive. The term biosphere was coined by geologist Edward Suess in 1875. Recap. The Earth's surface is very complex and made up of lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. The rigid part of the Earth is called the lithosphere.
Asia is the world's largest continent, both by area and by population.
Water is a major component of the Earth's surface, subsurface, as also the atmosphere, and this domain is called the hydrosphere.
The gaseous layers that surround the Earth constitute the atmosphere, where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon domain, and other gases are present.
The biosphere is the zone of contact of the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, and the atmosphere that makes life possible on Earth.